Good morning and welcome to Barrett-Jackson, and more importantly to Treasure Investment Corporation. This, as you see, I refer to it as the Lion of Judah. It's absolutely majestic. I was just in the home of Steve and Linda Cohn here in Scottsdale, Paradise Valley area. And they, as you enter into their property and you drive into their driveway, this majestic lion is the first thing you see. And then when you open the doors to their beautiful home, you see the piece that was presented to President Trump, which is a life-size presidential American patriot in solid bronze, which is at Doral Country Club as we speak. A little history between the founder, Mark Russo, and myself. I guess going back to 1998, Lake Oswego, Oregon, I was teaching a financial seminar to estate planning attorneys and CPAs on charitable giving, such as charitable gift annuities. And we were raising money for charities. And one of the attorneys that attended the conference invited me to lunch and wanted to introduce me to Mark Russo. Mark said that he had acquired a sculpture and had sold it for $5,000 to a doctor friend of his. And then sometime later, that doctor had gifted this beautiful sculpture to a charity. That charity then had a gala event, live auction. You've all been to those kind of auctions to help charities of your cause. That's something that you believed in. The bidding started at $5,000. And at $50,000, there were still 20 bidders bidding. And a light went on in Mark's brilliant mind, and he thought, oh my goodness, that's $1 million. This could be a business, and it could be scaled. He asked me what my thoughts were because I had been president of American Cancer Society in Wisconsin and had raised money for charities around the world, $432 million. And I said, Mark, would you like it to be a nonprofit or a for-profit? And he said, oh, for-profit, for sure. And not too many months later, here he is with 172 employees doing hundreds of auctions. He and I partnered together from that moment on. And then for the sake of the shareholders, he ended up selling the company, doing other things, and I stayed with the new buyers and continued doing the auctions. And then he came back and started the company again. And 10 years later, again, and here we are, 8 years ago, starting Treasure Investment Corporation. And Mark called me 8 years ago and said, let's do this thing again. Would you like to help? I was chairman of the board of a mining company. Couldn't do it full time, but nothing in my life, including running the mining company and all the other things that I've been blessed to do, nothing has meant more to me, nor have I had more fun or the opportunity to make more money than with something I'm doing with Treasure Investments. I'm now serving Mark and our shareholders as director of investments and doing shows like this. Mostly I do the investment shows. So I invite you not just to buy the art, appreciate the art because it's so emotive and majestic, but for those of you who are looking for a great alternative investment, such as combining fine art with precious metal, this is it. Matter of fact, Mark gave me the opportunity, I think providentially, honestly, during COVID, to represent our shareholders and Treasure Investments and Mark personally going to Florence, Italy. That was November of 2021, again during COVID. Matter of fact, borrowing an expression from The Tale of Two Cities, Charles Dickens, it was the worst trip of my entire life. Yet it ended up being the best trip of my entire life because the Lord blessed us with the worldwide exclusive opportunity to create posthumous original sculptures from the entire Vatican collection. 72 pieces that we can do one and one only in silver and in gold and in platinum, should we choose to do it. To date, we've created 7 pieces, including Michelangelo's Pietà, which presently is the world's largest precious metal sculpture ever created in history. A couple of things I wanted to share with our family of shareholders. This particular piece, Reflections of America. The reason this is special to me is that it was the first auction, live auction, that I ever did on behalf of the precursor company to Treasure Investments back in the 90s. And at the auction, I was going to be the auctioneer. And then Ambassador Joe Rogers, ambassador to France, said, "Are you aware that we have a professional auctioneer who's a congressman, minority whip of Congress, in the audience?" And I said, "No, what are you telling me, Joe?" He said, I'm telling you, I think he can do a better job. And I said, well, okay, fine. So Congressman Tom Lehman came up and he did the auction. And unbelievably how it came out, this particular piece went for $75,000. And who did it go to? Ambassador Joe Rogers. And he was the ambassador, as I said, to France for President Reagan. Gone on to heaven, but his wife, Honey, is still with us, and so is this piece. So I thought I would share that with you.